So today I'm going to attempt to build our very first chicken tractor. Now this one will resemble Lumnah Acres $30 chicken tractor build. I know it's definitely not going to take me 30 minutes to build it. My building skills are subpar at best. Need 12 dog ear fence pickets. You'll need 4 of the treated deck spindles. Yes, they're angle cut. That's okay. You'll be cutting some of that off and reusing it. I'm gonna do some upgrades on it. I'll go into detail on that later. So let's get started. So you want to measure all 4 of your deck spindles at 30 3/8. Save these pieces right here, you will need them. All 4 pieces cut. Now we start on the sidewalls. Now when you're at the point where you're ready to do your walls, your pickets must be 72 inches. Yes, they advertise at 72 inches, but all of them I measured are over 72 inches. I actually have to go back and cut off 3/16 off of almost every one of them. A couple of them I have to cut off a 1/4 inch, but you want your picket to be exactly 72 inches. That's very important. Right on the money, 72 inches. I cut off 3/16, and guess what? I cut 2 at the same time. Woo! Now, for those of you that don't know how to read a tape measure, I'm not going to say that I do or don't, but you can Google images and print them out that show you where your 16ths are and your 1/8. For this next step, you'll need your glue. Check this out. Boom. 8 1.5 inch long screws on my Magnum Flex wrist magnet thingamajig that was a Christmas gift from my wife Jen. Check that out. No more screws in the driveway. Very handy. I mean, just look at that. Look like a superhero. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, that was corny. Alright, so now we're at the step where you get your 72-inch fence pickets and your spindles, your deck spindles. You want to make sure this is flush, but first, you want to put some glue down. Doing this on a gravel driveway definitely has its challenges for sure. Get your drill and your 1.5 inch screws. You might have some glue come out the edges. That's okay. You can wipe that off. Most importantly is these fence pickets stay flush on your spindles. Alright, this side is done, and you want to repeat the process on the other side. So now that we got the first wall built, you want to go back, repeat the process, and build another one. I had to move out of the gravel driveway. Just didn't like the setup. As you can see, I got the wet effect like they do in commercials and movies to spice it up a little bit. Nice and flush. So in this next step, when you do your fence pickets for the front and the back, when you line it up, you want to make sure you line it up on the outside of the spindle. You want to bring your fence picket flush against this picket. You want to stay flush with the spindle right here. Make sure your bottom's flush. Add your glue. It's also easy to preset your screws, which I did so here. As you can see, I'm finding it very difficult to find somewhat of a level ground, but I think I found it. So let's attempt this. Now you add your second board up here. And what you want to do is you want to drive in one screw here, and then go on that side and drive one screw, and then come back and do your other screw here, and then repeat the process there. We're going to wait to wrap the hardware cloth and chicken wire around our chicken tractor. We're going to hold off on that because we need to decide where to put our vinyl corrugated panels, because behind that we're going to put chicken wire, not hardware cloth. So before I wrap it, we want to decide on where we're going to put the panels and how much sun the chickens will be allowed to have. You know, I want to give them as much sun as possible, but we also want to give them as much protection as possible from the elements such as rain and whatnot. So we skipped a step on wrapping the hardware cloth around the chicken tractor, and we went to putting in these pieces from your cut spindles. You measure from the outside of the fence picket in 36 inches. You want to decide on where your top is for your chicken tractor, and you want to put the spindle level with that line. So the top of our chicken tractor is going to be right here. And you want to use your 1.5 inch screws and a clamp and some glue, which we already applied the glue. Alright, drive in another screw. Alright, your next step is this top piece, your fence picket. That needs to be 72 inches as well. And you'll do 2 screws. Now when you put your 72-inch fence picket up, you want to make sure it's flush with the spindle you screwed on. Not flush with this picket, but flush with the spindle. Alright, just like that. So now we're going to measure. You want your tape measure right here at the edge of the picket. You're going to come down and mark 2 feet. And then you're going to mark 4 feet. You take your last 2 spindles and you're going to put them on. You're going to put a bead of glue there, flush with the top, but you're going to line it up center of your line, just like so, at the 2 foot mark and the 4 foot mark. It's going to be like that, and that's going to be for your door. Alright, so now we're going to do our door sides. We're going to take our last 72-inch picket and we're gonna measure down 35 and 15/16, which should be nice and even given the saw blade circumference. Perfect, nice and flush on both sides. That's the way we want it. All right, so our chicken tractor is complete. It's almost like an Lumnah style chicken tractor crossed with Sutherland, crossed with Freedom Foods Farm. So I like to thank Al, Ryan, and Jason for the inspiration to build this. I somewhat went off of Al's plans and then kind of strayed away from that and kind of did my own thing. But back here I got chicken wire to back up the vinyl corrugated panels. Then up here we got hardware cloth. Unfortunately I got 10-foot rolls instead of your 50-foot rolls. That's why you see these joints. I used almost 1,000 staples, the 18 gauge 1/4 inch crown. So I probably went overboard on the staples, which is fine because we do have a fox problem. So we should be good there. It's nice. It's very, very durable. The locking system, I'm probably going to change out and do something different. But the chicks aren't due to go in until Tuesday or Wednesday, so I have some time. It opens up nicely. There's a lot of room in there, plenty of room for our 24 meat birds. I also framed in the inside some to give the door some support, and I also put a piece under here. I ripped in half a 2x4x10 treated wood in half and braced the fence picket with that to give this piece right here some good solid support. I bought some extra fence pickets, and I also framed in the back some just to give it some more support and some more surface area to screw the vinyl panels to. Now I chose vinyl because it reflects the sun and the heat, plus vinyl lessens the weight. Another thing I need to do is make a little kickstand. For the extra bracing that I used for the door was just leftover scraps from fence pickets and some extra fence pickets I bought. I also put the eye bolts back here as well, so that way we can detach the rope and go to the rear if needed. I'm probably going to put in a shelf there for water and here for feed, but not bad for our first chicken tractor build. We're going to stick them in here today and then take them in tonight before it gets too dark, so that way they can start getting used to the grass. What do you think, little guy? I don't think he knows what to do. It's a whole new world out here, isn't it? We get you some feed and water out here, and y'all can scratch away. You got a ton of clover to eat, a ton of fresh grass. So I hope you liked today's vlog. I hope you learned a little something about building chicken tractors. Even though I went by Al Lumnah's plans, I kind of strayed away from those and kind of sprinkled in a little bit of Sutherland and Ryan Murphy over at Freedom Foods Farm. Then I added some of my own ideas, and this is what we got. So for my first chicken tractor build, I think I did pretty good. So the sea monsters are happy. They're having fun. They're gonna go back in probably in about another 3 hours or so. And we'll put them back out here tomorrow. And then hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, they'll be out here full time, eating up some clover and fresh grass. All right, thanks for watching.